We're all Charlie Kirk now. All of us. All of us that was willing to discuss and then die for doing it. Being hated for the wrong reason. And you know, I've listened to these guys. Usually it's Destiny or Hassan. You know, I listen to the shit that they're telling their brainwashed followers. And they use real slick methods to generalize, and but they lie. They lie. And I don't think I have to lie to maintain any point or anything. I don't have to lie about nothing. I don't have to lie or twist up any presentation of anything. But like I said, I'm not a Republican. But with Charlie Kirk, that one, I think, a real line in the sand there. I do. And I had my own interesting experience, which made it really fucked up. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully explain why. I put my rod in. I was been listening to more of that Leyline book I had a long time ago. It's got so much stuff in it. It's really impressive. And I've been talking about the veil, using the Ankh in this, putting it through. See the symbol on the glove? That's power inside. Power of power. That's the root of power. Check this out. This is my circuit. I found this ring, and it's like a symbol to me of being the wedding ring for Mother Earth. Like this weds me to Mother Earth. Now I'm just going to use it as a magical tool and an interface. Glued that on there. I did have a magnet on it, but the magnet stayed with the microwave. And on this one I have the torsion ring, which is it's got the frequency that it's set in is supposed to be the core of the earth, but it's supposed to be specifically for charging water. And it works. It does very good. I put that on my my pitcher that I fill with tea sometimes and water. And when you drink structured water, which just having it inside of that ring does it. The way they make these rings, I just reapplied it to this. I've got my other big one in the corner of the room. I've got my pole is driven here into the ground with the crystal in it. I've got the wire that's coming out pulled to where I can connect it to my ground wire in my bed, so it'll be powering me while I sleep, which is the balls. It's the balls. I'm thinking about filling it with sand. Just pouring some of the sand that's out there to fill up the bottom to at least cover the crystal in there. Now those rods, when you put a crystal in them and you seal them with the resin, at least with the Cloudbuster, because those are the tubes that I used. After you get those set, if you go and touch that fucking metal, your hand will immediately go fucking numb. And it'll be numb for like 2 weeks. I touched it with my hand and it went numb all the way up to here. And it took about 2 weeks to come back. That's because that when it works, that door energy, destructive orgone, it accumulates on the outside of on the metal. Now I've got a layer of paint on it on the outside, which may prevent that, but it may not. It may not. And my mind has just been going with all these different ideas and things I can do creatively using my landscape. There's nothing better than having a piece of land like this to be on and live. It's really not. I love it so much. It's just too hot out there right now. Another thing I want to do is move my rocks where I made a circle for fire. There's another area where I could burn if I took the rocks and made it. I'm thinking about doing it because I need to be able to burn, even if just a little bit of stuff and not trash. I have some papers that need to be burned. I'm very fire oriented, but usually in my burning process, I get a big thing of water, and when I get it at a certain point, I fucking hit it with that water and get that steam up. And that's a good way to interact with the weather. Oh yes, it does. And I would have never had thought, but I saw it that one day when I went outside and it was so foggy and shit. The storms, there's like a new type of lightning that's been coming where it hit. My whole room vibrated. And when I went outside, the whole outside was vibrating. Like it was just like, I've never been in anything like that before. It was like an earthquake, but for the air. The air was being shook. And then when I shot, I had the gun because I thought somebody was out there. I didn't know. Sometimes I'm in such a deep sleep that I jump out of it, think I'm going to catch somebody. But hey, that's just a little bit of the old trauma coming out. Trying to be more committed to my process, my work of developing. Today's White Wizard Day. I feel that. And I'm glad I got my friend Candace. She's also a White Wizard. So we do have that in common. I was very worried that the women were trying to do some fucking black magic shit on the rocks. But then when I checked them all, or asked to make sure, and I know why. I know why too. It had to do with dude down the street. I got his number and I was going to call him because I'd like to make myself available to be helpful to him, but I just don't think he's there in that sort of way at all. And then with but I do have the number. I just have to take the screenshot. I was getting bombarded with fucking numbers that day, so it looks like all the numbers that are green attack Little Sister, and Little Sister had her name. She was orange. I can't get it to change off orange. She stays being orange, which is fine, because that's actually probably the chakra that's being worked. The fact that all the other ones have turned green, and that's the goal for this time, the heart chakra, that acceptance, being able to accept everything as it is, accept everyone as they are. It's not the end all and be all. The next stage after that is the actually getting the wisdom, which the two chakras, the heart and the throat, baby blue, is where you really get your ability to be not love informing wisdom, or with they talk about two types of love. There's like the love that's not wise yet and more loving, and then there's the wisdom guided love. And it's harder for the wisdom guided love wanderers because they're a little more mental. Although they have love, they're not so easy to access. I think I'm a 6th density wanderer. I don't think I'm a 5th density shit. I just feel the 6th density is where I'm from. Indigo, 3rd eye, baby. I think that's where I was in my natural process. And you know, if I believe, and I believed because I had the experience of this other world, and I thought I'm the core of that world. I'm the core of that planet. Like I'm not the planet. The core of it is the planet. But in the Electronic Doppelganger book, it says that that's where evil is located. Now, if you were actually dark, 6th density, you could you would be halted. That'd be as high as you could go. Your progress, you have to repolarize. So being a wanderer and coming here and trying to polarize positive would take the ceiling out of that equation, possibly. Although I don't know, I don't think I would be a negative being. Just doesn't seem to be me. But that's what it said in the book. That the spiritual evil is located in the center of the earth, and it manipulates from there. So that's a weird concept. That doesn't sound like the Orions that are coming from different places to come here. That sounds like the natural here evil. There has to be polarity, you know? It has to be. I don't know how all that would translate in. I just don't know enough. But I know what I know from being a little kid and remembering and thinking. And up into being in 6th grade, I thought this other world would probably send some sort of ships here or something. I don't know why I thought that. I just did. I began to think that. Probably because I told the story to my friend and integrated it into like a comic book. That was fucking awesome. Still a great story. Probably should have wrote it as a book. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be for my kids, but it's like you go, well, I could be wrong about this. Because you go through a black hole here and you pop out the star there. And you have the planet's around that. And it has a light side and it has a dark side. It didn't always have a light side and dark side. And there was like gray aliens living there, something like a gray alien. Because they're the ones that tricked a scientist from Earth to blend their genetics in with humans. They gave him all their technology, which was a trap because he transhumanisms himself into a robot. And there are 4 warlords, but they represent the 4 elements, and he's the air. Because you know how the air is. Air is in the mind and all that stuff. but he's not the top bad guy on that planet. Just one contending force. And in the end of the story, they all do have to come together, the four warlords that are always warring with one another, to stop the Primus Omegas, which is the being from the center of the earth, that planet, because one of them woke him up trying to do some mischievous shit. But he just goes. He's like, and I've actually seen this a couple times. I'd love to draw it again. I probably should draw it and put it on here, because he's like got a line, but he's got his head is bigger, and he has another set of eyes, and he looks fucking badass. Got that badass mustache and beard. And he has a crown, and he's got 4 arms, and it's like, imagine him. He's fucking sitting cross-legged, and his hands are just fucking doing shit. He's got all kinds of more 4 hands with all the tools, his tools that he's going. And as he goes in lines, I saw him come out of a fucking door that was leaning against a wall at my buddy Ronnie's house one time, on acid, of course. And like, he went through and he turned, and I saw him go past me and out the wall. And I was like, what the fuck? As he goes, the light side of him is creating, but the other side is destroying everything. And then he creates something over it. So it's just like everything gets remade. Just goes over the world, and like nothing can stop him unless all 4 warlords come together. Then they can put him back up. He'll go back into the core of the earth, and they'll hope to God nothing like that ever happens again. But so maybe it is evil. He's in control. He's in the control that they're not. But I don't think it's just the consciousness of that planet. And it became polarized like that because of the situation on the surface. That jives with the Steiner material. Because it says that, and the grid thing, it says that the grid knights are supposed to keep the frequencies balanced amongst all the entropic fucking horrible thought forms of suffering and shit of the people in the world. So my basic 2 frequencies that I use is 432 and 528. 528 for the heart, 432 for the circle around the self and the universe. Because everything goes back to that. Your circle, your awareness is the point. Circumpunct, the symbol for the sun, circle with a dot in it. And it's a very deep but easy to see symbol that represents oneness and consciousness, because it's always expanding out. There's always a periphery wherever it interacts with something else that's not it. And I think I'm going to score my wire so that I can have a bare part and wrap that around my grounding rod that comes in. I have my metal plate underneath there, which makes my bed much more sturdy. So it has the mesh, so it's grounded properly. Now, if I jump that wire, if I took that wire then and went across and just connected it to the fence, it would be also connected to the river. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But I'm going to start to meditate and imagine using the method of feeling it like I have it. The different things I want to bring about for the new operation. I mean, because I see how it's going to be. Because I'm Charlie Kirk too. I'm Charlie Kirk too. But I got my power back. It's the same power. You always have it. Mostly it's your imagination, your will, and the ability to combat evil by knowing the truth and recognizing when there's lies and when there's manipulation. When I see that, I'm going to fucking move against it using the method of imagining the truth that isn't the lie that I hear. When I hear they're lying about all of us that are supposed to be the far right, and how we're trying to take away their life. No, I'm going to start to heal them. I'm going to imagine those trans people feeling like they're loved, and just going to combat it using those methods, because you don't have to fight with weapons. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. I'm just saying that this is the strongest weapon that I have available, because I got the ground underneath my feet backing me up.